Hey there, it's Lenny Magill with the GlockStore Performance and Custom Shop right here in San Diego today. We're going to talk about something that's pretty unique and pretty special because over the past 30 years that I've been in this business, this particular category has improved so dramatically, and it's just amazing, and it keeps on getting better and better. I just ask myself, where's it going to stop? And I'm talking about the weapon lights. This is the newest one from Nightstick that we just picked up, and I looked at it and I thought, man, it's tiny, but it's 550 lumens. I mean, it's pretty awesome. And it's got a green laser, which is pretty awesome. And it fits your Glock 19 like it was supposed to be there. So what's happened with these lights is they've become lighter, more powerful, and less expensive as the technology improves. And this is a great example of all three of those things. It's lighter, it's more powerful, and it's less expensive than a lot of the predecessors, a lot of the other lights we have on the market. And that's why I want to show it to you, because if you're looking for a laser light, this is a great option. And let me show you how it fits here and looks. This is a Glock 19 Gen 5. Of course, the gun is empty. You always want to make sure that when you're doing this kind of thing, putting lasers and lights and other accessories, that the gun is totally empty. In fact, there's no ammunition in this room. There's no loaded magazines around. I'm not inadvertently going to load this and make it go bang because this is the studio, right? So here's the light and laser combo. And basically on the one side, you're going to notice is a screw head, flathead screw. I've backed it out already. If you notice what happens, it's kind of spring loaded. If I push this forward over here, it's going to move the one side over a little bit. So you don't really slide it on, you kind of just place it on. The other thing to notice here, of course, is the Picatinny rail bar that's going to rest inside your Glock is pre-positioned. And this C1 is pre-positioned for Glock handguns. So let me turn it here so you can actually see what I'm talking about. C1 is positioned for Glock handguns, and this piece right here is what locks into the one rail on the bottom of your Glock. Now, what's really cool about this, of course, is that this light comes with 4 other rail accessories that will fit different guns. And I don't know which one fits which. I didn't really see it in the manual there, but one of these is going to fit your SIG, one's going to fit your Springfield, one's going to fit your Ruger, or that's basically what this is designed for, to fit all the different guns. So you would come in here with your Allen wrench that's supplied and take out these 4 screws and then go ahead and replace the Glock plate with one of these other plates that's going to fit your particular handgun if you don't have a Glock, and then you drop it in here and screw it in. They actually give you a couple extra screws because they're super tiny in case you lose them. You'll be able to anchor this thing in place. All right, so that's how it is. Like I said, the C1 plate is the one for Glock, and here's how it works. Basically, take your Glock. You see that little post or rail right there is going to fit into this slot. And so I'm just going to go ahead and push over, make sure that this piece is slid over as far as possible, and just kind of clamp it in place, just like so. And now once it's there, you'll notice it won't slide back and forth. It has a little bit of play to it because I haven't tightened it down. So just take a screwdriver and tighten it down all the way. And then give it a nice snug fit, not too tight. Now, one of the things we've noticed over the years that if you're super aggressive on this screw, especially on the longer guns, and you really tighten it down with the muscle ape grip type concept, it could, and we've seen this happen, it could distort the frame itself, which may cause cycling problems. It somehow interferes with the harmonics of the slide going back and forth if you tweak that slide, if you crunch it. So my recommendation is really finger tight. We want to get in there, get it tight. It's kind of tight now. We just give it a little bit more oomph, and that's about it. I could come a little tighter. Certainly I could really bear down on that, but I think that's about as far as I want. Finger tight. I could get on it and muscle it. I could crank it, but we've seen people have problems with the cycling of the slide. When you attach a light and you tighten it so much, you actually tweak the frame, which then interferes with the slide's motion. So be careful, be aware of that. If you put a light on and you start to notice malfunctions, slide not cycling properly, take the light off and shoot and say, okay, well, yes or no, is it the light? And you can then determine maybe the light's messing up the frame and you want to go ahead and reposition it or loosen it a little bit, not tighten it so much, and kind of just think it through before you say that the gun is malfunctioning by itself, because we've seen that happen with these lights. Now, like I said, it comes with an Allen wrench to remove your plates. It also comes with another Allen wrench to play with the laser. And if you look here at the light, you'll see, of course, the light is on the top and the laser module is below. It's got your familiar little laser warning button on the bottom. All right. Now, also on the bottom, you're going to see it says up, or U for up. This Allen wrench is going to fit in that hole, and it's going to allow you to move the laser to the point of impact that you're looking for. So you can move up, and then on this side over here, there's a button that says right. Obviously, the other direction would be left, so you can move it left or right. So that would be your windage, left and right, or your elevation, up and down, for your laser with this particular device. So again, I'm not going to do that here because it's really up to you as to what distance you're looking for. So the concept would be is that you want to go ahead and turn the light on, turn it on, and the laser's on. You'd want to look at your sights downrange, and you say, okay, now what distance do I want that laser to intersect with my front sight? Now, what's interesting, as I hold the sights here, and I go out to, say, across the room, maybe 7, 8 yards, and I look here, I can see that the laser is above the front sight. It's sitting up here. So then when I come in closer and I aim something, a little bit closer, I see that the laser is basically below. So if I said to myself, you know what, I'm thinking I want this to be sighted in at 7 yards, I want it to be exact at 7 yards, I would measure that 7-yard distance. I would put my stance out there. You could do this on a rest. Figure out, got your sight picture, got your sights lined up. They're all aligned. The front sight is inside the rear notch. And then you can dial the laser to sit on top or directly in front of your front sight. And that's by using this little Allen wrench, and just a couple little turns will move it, because we're talking about some close distances here. So it may take a full turn to actually elicit some movement, but be cautious not to overturn it or to over tweak it, because that will cause problems with the sights too. So just a little bit at a time, you're going to see you'll be able to walk that sight down for the distance that you want. All right. It's going to be different for everybody. I want to do 10-yard shots with a laser. I want to do 20-yard shots with a laser. You can do all that. Just measure your distance, get the gun set, and then start to look and start to dial down one step at a time and see where that green dot is going to rest. And I like to rest it right on top of the sight. So I basically have both. I've got the front sight, and then I've got the green laser sitting right on top of it. Of course, it's sitting at the target. It just appears to be sitting on top of it. Okay, so that's kind of the sighting in process with the laser. The light is, of course, designed for self-defense, shooting at nighttime. So it's a very important tool, I would say, for home defense especially. Lights have proven to be a good thing to have if you're ever in a shooting. No one wants to be in a shooting, right? But if you're in a shooting, the defense lawyer, for the bad guy you shot who was robbing your home, is going to say, well, how did you know he was a bad guy? And if you didn't have a light, you couldn't identify your target. That's a big concept in the court of law. You could not identify your target. In fact, we went to your house at 2 a.m. in the morning. In that hallway, we took the jury down there, and we looked, and we couldn't see properly. How could you identify your target if you didn't have a light on your gun? See, they try to twist you up. Even though the guy's robbing your house or doing something terrible, and you end up shooting him, they're going to make you the bad guy unless you can say, no, I knew he was a bad guy. I knew he was going to come after me. I knew he was coming toward me. I could see him. I could clearly identify him. He had a knife. He had a gun. He had a club. He was coming after me. I felt endangered. I had to shoot him because I felt danger, or I felt my safety, my life was in jeopardy. That's the only reason you can shoot someone. Okay, you can't because they took your TV or anything like that. It's really down to self-defense and self-preservation of you or your loved ones. So the light really makes a lot of sense for a self-defense handgun, especially for a home defense handgun. And that's why I really, like this one, because look how small and how, beautiful it fits your Glock 19. Now, to use this light, what's really cool is you take basically the same grip and you get up here and you've got your finger, trigger finger, right there next to the on button. And you can also operate it with your thumb on the other side. So there's the on button is on both sides. Now, all these lights, most weapon lights today in this modern age, will operate in the same fashion in that you can push it down and hold it down, and when you release, it will go off. Now, if you push it and just release it, it'll stay on. So there's two modes of operation for you as an operator as to how do you want to operate this light. If you are in a situation where you feel someone bad is close and could come at you, sometimes it's best to spot the light and then release. Now, what you've done there, two things. One, you've identified your target. You have thrown a big, bright 550 lumen light in their eyes, which is going to dilate their pupils. You then release it, the light goes off, their pupils are going to open back up, they're going to be temporarily blinded, and that gives you the opportunity to move and get out of the way, and they won't know where you're going. So the light can be used as an offensive tool in that it helps you gain distance, gain space, and tactical flanking, in a sense, that you can get behind a couch, you can move this way. If someone's rushing at you and you blind them and you can step out of the way, they won't know where you're at until their eyes adjust back to the darkness. Now, it doesn't have to be completely dark. That's the great thing about this. If it's in completely dark, you can't see anything, well, the light's important, right? But typically, there's a little bit of light. There's a low light situation. So your eyes adjust to that. You're able to see. When you flash someone with the light, their eyes dilate, or they constrict, right? And then all of a sudden, you take the light off, eyes open up, they can't see for that 2 to 3 seconds until their eyes and their brain adjust to that low light setting. And that gives you time, and that's the most important thing in any self-defense, time and distance. Gives you an ability to, one, get away, two, to move tactically and get out of the way, to flank this person, to just somehow disorientate them. And that's what I'm trying to get to with this light concept. And so the way you would use it, the way I would do it is I'd keep my trigger finger free, and I would operate it with my thumb, left thumb, and I would push and boom, push and boom. So you're basically giving yourself a tactical advantage with this light. And at 550 lumens, I'm going to tell you what, it is pretty darn shocking. Okay, I mean, even right here, if I shine it right here, and it's just the glare of it coming off of this even black surface is somewhat like, wow, it's a bright light. So it is very, very bright. Now, there are brighter lights there, but not quite as small and as beautiful as this one. So one other thing I want to show you real quick up here if you're getting close. It has basically a battery protection mode. And so right now, the dot is on the on, and you can probably see that right there. There you go, nice job, focus. Beautiful. I can turn it off to the off mode right up there. Whoops, let's see if you can see that. And it won't go on then. So now you won't accidentally bump it while it's in your bag or something like that. So that's a nice little feature I like. The other thing too, of course, is this whole thing just screws off and the battery is right there. It's just one of your standard CR123 batteries that you can buy at Walmart nowadays, and just about anywhere, to be honest. And goes in with the positive down, and then you just screw it back on. And if you are going to store it, you just leave that dot in the off position. But if you're actually going to use it or have it, in duty, you go ahead and you put it down to the on position, and then it's available to be on and off. And now, one last thing is the modes. I took the battery out, so it kind of defaulted back to just the light-only mode. To adjust, there's 3 modes. There's light-only, laser-only, and light and laser. To adjust the mode, you hold down one side and just hold it down, and then tap the other side. There's laser-only, boom, boom, and there's light and laser. And there's light only, laser only, and light and laser, which I'll keep it on light and laser. So there's what it looks like on a Glock 19. Now, before we close this video out, I want to show you what it looks like on a Glock 17, because a lot of you are going to say, well, yeah, it looks pretty cool there, but how's it look on a 17? It looks pretty good. It's, you know, it's really small. I like it because it's small. It's not too heavy, and it's 500 lumens, and the price point is pretty spectacular. So let me show you how. We'll just take this puppy off real quick. And I'm going to tell you what, that if you don't have a light and you have a gun in your house, you really should consider that that's, you know, the next thing you want to do. Light comes off just like that. Put this one away. Got a Glock 17 Gen 5. Empty, of course. Boom. All right, now we're ready to go ahead and put a light on it. I've already loosened it up. Already talked about all the features. The same plate works for both the 17, 19, works for all the Glocks. And that's the nice thing about this, too. It doesn't really matter. It can work on a 21. It can work on a Gen 3, Gen 4. All the rails on a Glock are basically the same. So we're just going to go ahead and position this with that slot that's going to go into the, with the post or the rail that's going to go into the slot. And then I'm going to go ahead and pop it right in there. And there it is, and get it set. And now, take my screwdriver and just tighten it up. And that's what's really nice about these nowadays. They're easy on, easy off. And here we go, tight. And again, I want to caution you about trying to over tighten it. Of course, here in America, we always like to be super aggressive with everything. Hand tight is all we want. Boom, finger tight. Not hand tight, finger tight. And there it is on a Glock 17. Again, it looks pretty nice. And I'll get up there so you can see a little bit better. Bump. And here we are again. Bump and bump. I really like the on-off switches. They're kind of, I guess what I say, spring activated, so they're on-off. They always go pop up. You've got them on both sides. Like I said, my preferred method of operation, so I can have a good grip, keep my trigger finger free, is with the thumb over here. On, off, bump, bump. And you hold it down and let it go, and it's automatically off. So that's the new light. It's, like I said, they get better and better every year. And this is one we just got in. I thought, you know what? Let's do a video on that, because you really have to see this to believe what's going on with this. The other neat thing about this light, of course, is just the lightweight. Now, one thing I will tell you about holsters for this, there's a brand new light. Not a lot of manufacturers out there making holsters. We do make custom holsters for this light laser concept. And we do sell it as a package as well. So look for that on our website. Let us know what kind of gun you have. And we've got the lasers and we've got the guns, and we'll go ahead and build it for you. It's kind of custom because there's so many different varieties, but we'll have, of course, 17s and 19s available. But this is a great light, and it's one you should be aware of, and I'm glad I was able to bring it to you. Here, of course, at the GlockStore, we like to bring you all the cool new accessories for your Glock. I'm Lenny Magill. This, of course, is the GlockStore Performance and Custom Center. I am here in San Diego. We've got a new store opening in Nashville, and I'm going to invite you to come down and see that. That's really soon. So today is October 22nd, 2020. That store is going to be open in about 30 to 45 days. So come on down and see us in Nashville. Thanks for watching. I'll see you next time.